Here, wait. Where am I getting my audio from?
We're live. So, you guys ready to
Am I
do
getting it from?
the clap?
Here, wait. Stop. And okay, so I'm getting it from the G-Track Pro there. Okay, so it's coming through there. Discord, where are you getting your audio from? Voice and audio, Samsung G-Track. Okay, great. Yep, everything's good to go. We're ready.
Okay.
Let's do it!
So let's do it. Three, two, one. Welcome to the Hunter's Hub. This is your host Fortwan, joined by co-host More Daddy. How you doing?
That's how I'm doing. I'm doing great. I gotta start it off refresh, you know? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Yeah, doing some Rise demo stuff, and I gotta start. I initially was going to give up on it, and yeah, then I decided, hey, I'm not going to. And then some guy was like, hey, you're the quitter here, you know? Don't even bother, you know? And I was like, no, you're the quitter, whatever, because you said that it's virtually impossible and that you're on the verge of giving up. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna race you. I'll race you to beat Magnamolo. And the guy was like, all right. Loser has to change their profile picture on Twitter, and it's the winner's pick. And I was like, "You're on, deal." So now I've got to try and beat this thing before some guy I know does. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And Ace, how you doing?
Well, we can only go uphill from here. I'm doing very good. I've been having some Elatrion and Fatalis flashbacks with this Magnamolo demo, that's for sure.
Oh, God.
Correctly calling him Magnamolos. I've been putting an os on it. And
You're so used to your Diablos, your Rathalos, your Gogmazios,
yeah.
and every other os in between. Cheerios.
Basaros.
Honey bunches of os.
Right. So, what we're going to be doing is talking about first, before we get into all this Monster Hunter Rise news, we're going to be talking about the Monster of the Week, which was your pick, Ace, which
Enox.
Giganox. There you go, GG Nox.
Mm-hmm. Good old GG.
So, as per usual, you're the one who picked it, so lead us off. Talk about
So Giginox is low-key one of my favorite ones since I've started actually playing through 3 Ultimate seriously for the first time. I put maybe about 40 minutes into the 3DS version and then fell off completely. But like just his look alone, this sort of like sea lamprey leech looking thing.
Yeah.
It's got this weird, I would describe it as like almost metallic roar that it does. He's also designed very interestingly because as I sort of learned and saw throughout the fights, his wings will actually sort of pull you in towards him if you're not careful. Because if you're too close when he roars, the wings will like fold back in and pull you in right to his body, and after which he usually then will follow up with a poison gas attack to get you, which if you're in high rank with the deadly poison, that'll wreck your shit pretty quickly. But I really like how he also sets up his attacks, because he often, leaps up but like flips himself around to face you to quickly follow up with attacks. And then he can also, in like opposition, because a lot of people compare him to Kazu, he'll actually attack with both ends of his body. So he'll attack with his tail and with his head. Overall, I really just like it, and I'm definitely going to be getting one or more figures off of eBay when I decide to.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Solid points for a monster. What about you, Morg?
I think is absolutely frustrating. He is like I refer to it as the master of tick damage. Between it having like all these like egg sacs or whatever it is, these big clusters of eggs that it spawns that produces all these little giggies that like swarm you, they latch onto you and they like suck up your health. Between that and all the poison damage that he does, like it literally just spams nothing but poison. It is insane how frequently I have gone through like antidotes and potions just to keep my health up, like in between moments of attacking and trying to get away from it to heal. It's a good monster. I do like that it pulls like this sort of like faux Gila monster kind of thing where it has like its head and its tail, they look pretty similar. It's a good defensive strategy in nature, and seeing that in a Gignox, like it can be very tricky sometimes being able to tell, what is this? Stroke and Coke. Woo, the proof on that. Yummy. Ooh, it tastes like candy almost, but in a pleasant way, and not in a gross
Can it strip the varnish off of wood?
Probably, I don't know.
Oh, shit. Nice.
It's potent, but yeah, it's great. But yeah, where was I going to go with this? Yeah, Gila monster attacks. Oh yeah, and because I use hammer, sometimes I'll inadvertently attack the tail thinking I'm hitting the head, and I will not do KO damage. So then I have to like try and work my way around to the front to try and bash him in the face. When he enrages, his skin color changes, which is really, really cool. Like that's pretty unique among monsters. You don't really see that in a lot of monsters that you fight in game. I don't think that. Yeah, I think it and Baleful Giganox are the only ones that will change their the pigment of their skin very, very vividly. And hit zone values change when it's angry too, which is really interesting.
In later games, Kezu, you could see the blood a little better, but
Yeah, and he also gets like the electrical blue.
Yeah, it kind of froths at the mouth a lot.
Yeah.
Very similar to like what you would see with Cuckoo, but it's all blue because of the electricity and shit.
Nothing like a full palette swap. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is Bloodbath. When Bloodbath goes into game mode.
Oh yeah.
But
The veins.
Again, like that's not him in rage. That's a whole nother stage of the fight. So yeah, that's a unique point. He gets much darker when he's angry.
I also forgot to mention, I like how his tail and his head sort of flip in terms of the hardness, because yeah, you'll usually bounce off the tail when he's not enraged, and then it becomes a soft spot when he is enraged, but then his head becomes a hard spot. So
yeah,
I find
it's
that's
insane.
An interesting flip of the coin.
Yep. I will say it's one of the few monsters and one of the earliest ones that weaponizes its babies.
Yeah. I don't think that there are any other monsters that do. You're right. Yeah, Rachna Kadaki does that. It actually uses its spawn as like
Yeah, from the little that we've seen about it, yeah. I do like it's gross, right? It's a total gross monster because it does that thing.
It poops out the eggs.
Or it's either the egg sac or the poison sac, the false sac that is full of poison, which I think ecologically is kind of cool. They can create false egg sacs to trick predators, but
yeah.
There's a lot to this monster. It is the one monster that uses the most obscure mechanic in Monster Hunter main games, which is lighting. It is the only monster that never cared about lighting, because it was bioluminescent, and when it was in the dark, you could see the stripes down the side of the head and the tail.
Yeah. I wonder, are those like its eyes?
No.
Like
it doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, because those things, they're like a weird crystal formation.
The running theory is that it uses like heat sense So it has like thermal sensors.
But
Those could be part of its sensory organs, maybe, yeah.
that quote unquote sees you because it still has music and it still has an eye icon, whereas Kezu doesn't, which is blind and uses
Yeah.
entirely.
I thought it would also use like heat, like Kezu would have like a thermal sense, because you see it a lot in like colder climates and especially in caves, which would be cooler environments. So like warm-blooded animals would be much easier to see if they had thermoscopic vision.
Maybe, but
You know what I mean?
Sort of like Predator.
Maybe,
It's exactly like that.
On Giganox. I will say I don't have any recollection of any of the armor or the weapons it makes at all.
I do remember. I remember what its armor looked like. It was really, really cool. It was like a sort of like this icky kind of tacky purple with like red around some of the edges of its of the fabric that you would make out of its skin, and its weapons were very gothic, like very metal in design. Like I remember the hunting horn was a coffin,
Yes.
which is super cool.
I remember the coffin. Yeah.
Super based, or I should say awesome. I got to stop saying based.
Yeah.
People keep ripping on me for it.
Well, whatever. Are we ready to rate it? I guess I haven't talked much about it. Aside from it was the one monster that used light mechanics. I don't think it's a terrible fight. It is sort of like a suitor replacement for Kezu. When it came out, as far as like tactics and that kind of stuff goes, it's a little bit more attached to the wall and the ceiling as far as those mechanics go. But it's a little less on the lightning end, which obviously Kezu has the lightning and Giganox has the poison, but Baleful has the lightning. And even then, it's not as adept at it as Kezu ever was. With Red Kezu, still being the same. Red Kezu doesn't the problem is, when we talk about Kezu versus Giganox, they are essentially filling the same niche and or same role in the games, and that's why people tend to have like a this or that with Giganox, and I don't think we need to have that necessarily. I think both of them are cool monsters, but unfortunately, it's unavoidable to compare the two because they are so similar.
Yeah.
So what I would be, I don't really have much else to say other side from what you guys did. I think the fight is serviceable. I don't think there's anything super unique. I do like the head versus tail flip. And I do like that getting it on its back was a big thing. Like it was like it's on its back. Okay, now we can do some serious damage to it.
Yeah, hitting the belly and breaking those other weird organ things that are like on it, those weird glowing crystals, I guess you could call them.
Those nodules, or, yeah, whatever you want to call them. So breaking those, I think was a satisfying thing. So, are we ready to rate it?
I think so.
Okay. So lead us off. We'll go in the same order. So lead us off, Ace. What is your rate?
I mean, I always like and prefer the weird stuff. It's an unsung hero for me. I'm gonna give it an S+.
Okay. Morg.
I think maybe I'm gonna give it. Oh boy. I'm not a crazy fan of the fight, but I can appreciate it and I do respect it. It does actually demand a lot of respect, being able to understand how that fight goes, or otherwise you're going to go through a lot of items when you're fighting it if you don't understand how it works, and if you don't give the monster the space that it needs when it's producing a lot of like those area of effect attacks, like for example when it shoots poison out of its body, or when it's like on the ceiling and shooting poison down at you and projectiles all over the place, and spawning its little broodlings, like a Zerg. You have to get rid of those, or otherwise those are going to be trouble as well. It's a good fight. It's annoying, but it's good. I think it's annoying in a very positive way. I don't really have any negative feelings about the fight, except for the fact that maybe it screams maybe a little too much. But aside from that, it's really good. Its armor is pretty awesome. I used some of its armor in actually a couple of my rounds in 3U, and the weapons are sick. I'm gonna have to give this thing an A+. It's much better than some of the other monsters that, I'm kind of like about. But this is a monster that I can appreciate, and I would actually really like to see come into future games. So, if we were to see Giganox Rise, or maybe in another title coming in the future, that would be great. So yeah, I would give it, an A+.
Okay.
It deserves it.
Well, I like the fight. It's a decent one. I like the fact that it was the monster that cared about light mechanics, the one. However, that mechanic didn't last, and the monster did. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I don't know.
Sorry, I gotta inform people that we're on Twitch. It's important, We gotta get our viewers up.
I did.
Gotta get those numbers, baby.
It's a decent fight. However, it's gross. Right? Like it's a gross monster.
It is.
I am not grossed out by many things, but the egg laying thing, I'm not a super fan. So this is gonna get a B+ for me. It's my lowest rating so far. But so that puts it in a solid A range, I believe. So we got an S+, an A+, and a B+. I think split the difference is an A+. Between the three of us. So there you go. A+, Giganox. Will we good? I know Ace is a little sad inside.
No, I'm fine. Anything lower than a B-, and I would have slammed down with the ban hammer.
Oh God!
Although I don't have that power, so.
Don't worry, you'll get your tenure soon.
No.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, so we're gonna talk about Monster Hunter Rise. Just to sum it up, we have Diablos at an S-. We have Gore at a solid S. We have gosh, what was yours, Morg?
Yangaruga.
Yangaruga was an S-, and now we have A+ for Giganox. I gotta write this stuff down. I said I was going to last week, and I forget. But anyway,
I have a tier list, I think.
Yeah, we should be putting that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in a tier list actually, real quick. If Firefox would load up. Come on, Firefox. Come on, you're supposed to be better than Google.
I don't know. I switched to Google from Firefox because it kept crashing.
Oh, really? That's too bad.
But I mean, this is like 2010. Like, it's been well over 10 years. Anyways, so Monster Hunter Rise got a lot of new stuff.
Hell yeah, we did.
Oh boy, did we ever.
We lead with some of the new info, and we end off with Magnamolo. Considering that's sort of like chronologically what we've been dealing with, pretty much. We can so we got the live stream, which I forgot was happening. I woke up right as it ended, and I was like,
"Oh,
oh yeah."
I
watched
was
it.
At work.
It was good.
I was at work. Fortunately, we were slow, so I was able to catch most of it.
Yeah, and you were freaking out about Camelios being announced. So I guess
yeah,
Let's.
Oh,
I'm happy to have him
that
back.
was so awesome, man. I am so happy he's in the game. Oh God, you have no idea.
I mean,
Poison Elder Dragon. So how much do we think he's going to change? Because I feel like he's not going to change that much at all, especially based on the little bit of movement we saw. Although I do like that the Melnix was getting trolled by a thief, essentially.
yeah, that was I knew the second that he like what and just stops. I was like, oh, red alert, red alert. Is this what I think it is? And then he loses it, and then you see the rustling in the background with like the semi-transparent in the background. I'm like, yes, yes, give it to me. And then they gave the reveal, and I slammed my fist down on the desk, and I was like,
oh man, I was really happy that he was going to come into this game. I'm still like super excited for this. This is one of those moments, man, like where I'm just like, like my boy Chameleos finally. I kind of wanted him in World, but with everything that World has shown us, and because Valhazak was already in the game and pretty much filled in his place in the trio, I don't know. But I mean, I honestly prefer Chameleos over Valhazak, even though Valhazak has some of the coolest armor that I would use well over Chameleos. I mean, Chameleos, kind of looks like mushroom wizard thing. I don't know really what it looks like, but Valhazak pretty much has like Dark Souls armor, which is it's pretty awesome. You can't really compete with that, especially with like its armor skill bonuses and stuff like that. Those are really, really good. But the weapons are the ones that make Chameleos one of my favorites. And the fight itself, I love its gimmicks and mechanics. Like, such a good fight. I love it.
I just like its quirkiness and how they make it animate it like a lizard. How like when it it walks, it does that sort of forward a little bit twitch as it moves forward and stuff like that. I really like that quirkiness, and I like how with the moniker of its name, Chameleos Chameleon, it does the whole tongue thing as both attack and stealing and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see if they change up anything, give him any new mechanics, maybe have him running along the walls.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting, especially if you fight him in a cave, just to have him just completely adhered to the ceiling and then just pan head down and
yeah, just like flick his tongue around all over the place and then just like grab everybody's items. I want that. I want him to be able to steal everybody's items because I'm so sick of people being like, yeah, it's no big deal. I can just go over to the camp and just, restock all my supply even if I use it all up. Yeah. No. No, if you fight this thing, you're going to lose your items.
In the G rank quests we did.
Right now, so hold on, because apparently everyone's saying I'm too quiet. Oh no, we lost Ace.
Egad!
I'm good.
Ooh, who's here tonight? I have no idea who's on right now.
Yep. Where's the voice settings? Yeah, input volume. Gosh, it's my mic. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, Fortuan, tell me who's on so I can say hello to our viewers.
We have Angry Monk.
Hey.
We have
hi.
After Atlantis and Cloud 4K.
Welcome.
Hello and welcome to the Hunters Hub.
Yep. So we weren't sure how much we were going to do stream involvement, but obviously, because I'm super quiet, which I have noticed this in my own recording. When we do this for Audacity, I have to turn me up in the podcast. Well, geez, I'm even lower now.
Are my levels pretty good?
No, you're too loud as usual. You're and Ace is Ace. He's normal.
Yeah, I'm pretty average.
I like how I'm the most bombastic of the trio, and of course my settings are the loudest ones. Oh, God's sakes. Well, as long as, the viewers don't have a problem with my voice, as I do. Because I do. And I hate my voice. I'm sorry, guys.
Right.
Can't help it. But yeah.
Because it's coming from me. That might be good. I'm not sure if I can mess with my user volume. So you're seeing a little behind the screens.
That's good.
Feel more.
Oh, I'm feeling excellent.
Okay. Maybe that would help because it should be recording from my computer as far as audio goes, and I know that my computer isn't picking me up too loud. But as you can see,
I mean, yeah.
if you looked in the Discord settings and my microphone settings, everything's turned all the way up, so it is indeed my mic.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you were asking, about my constitution. I mean, if you were asking about my constitution, yes, I'm making some very poor decision. I shouldn't be drinking mixed drinks with Coke and a beer and gin all in the same sitting. It's probably a bad idea. Don't do what I do, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bad idea. Don't mix your drinks. Be responsible. Unless you're me, and then you can handle it, then it's fine.
So, yeah, sorry. New mic is going to be gotten and hopefully fix this issue. This is something I'm always aware of. So, anyways, Camillus is a stellar monster. My brother is ecstatic to have him back. It was the first thing I saw. If you guys are part of the Discord, I put Pascal all over the Discord from Rapunzel.
Tangled?
Yeah. I just I don't know. I love Camillus. I think he's a cool monster. I'm interested to see how he's updated and changed. I think that we're not going to see a whole lot of change though. It'd be cool if he's crawling up walls. I don't know if they're going to do that. Like, I don't know.
I would love for him to be able to do that. Like being able to turn invisible and then just climb up the walls and then being able to shoot projectile poison at people from a distance while invisible. Now that would be awesome.
Where Toby used to crawl up a tree and sort of do things on a tree, I could see that level of interaction where they're up on a wall or something like that. But I don't really see us fighting in those non-battle areas. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. They're not going to do that. No, they're not going to do that.
And that's what would happen if we ended up fighting Camillus on a wall, right? Like I don't think we're going to fight him on a wall at all. I think they're going to tone down his whatever it is. It's just got to be he's going to be in the middle, where Magnamolo is fighting and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, he's in the Shrine Ruins. We've seen that. I wonder if we're going to have a problem like we did with World, where most everything's in the shrines. A disproportionate amount of monsters are there versus the other maps. I hope not.
Damn, I got stuff in my teeth. What is it? Get out. Ow. Okay.
So, so I'm excited. One thing that I was very excited for, not that I wasn't excited for Camillus, but the fact that they also said beside it several other monsters.
Oh.
What? Of World, we had hey, here's Lunastra, and that's it. Coming at this.
Or hey, Devil Joe is coming, and it'd be just the one monster, yeah. But the fact that they're going to be bringing in more than just one monster at a time, like a big cluster, like a combo pack. I love combos. It's my favorite thing. So yeah, there have been a lot of people who have been doing data mining and a lot of spoilering about a lot of content. They're all oh, this monster's gonna come back. This monster's come back. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But I mean, there's a lot of monsters that they, quote unquote, have on the tier list that apparently is in the data. And I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But yeah, Camillus being on the list, yes, yummy. It's gonna be great. But I mean, what's Chameleos going to be like without Kushala and Teo? You know what I mean? I think they're probably going to make it into the game.
Yeah,
For
I was gonna
sure.
say maybe those are coming in.
I think those are going to be
Um,
coming into the game as well. I mean, when have they not been in the game?
Third
Oh
gen.
wait, 3. Yeah, 3rd gen. 3rd gen was when they didn't have a lot of Elder Dragons.
100% third gen. All of fourth gen we got all the elders. Fifth gen so far we've got those elders because it was focused on Elder Dragons. I think granted, I do not know the spoiler list, so I have no information or inclination of what would be on that list or what would not be on that list. But I don't think we're going to see as many Elder Dragons. I think that Chameleos was a good fit, so they sought to use him. I don't think it has to do with him being an Elder, as much as he was a good fit for the theme. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which, speaking of the theme, I completely expected the other reveals we got of Zinogre and Nargacuga. I feel their armor, very much fits with the theming of the game.
Mm-hmm. It just makes sense. Like, all the stealth, the
Narga has that
cloakiness,
ninja
the
stuff.
poison, and like the blades. Like, honestly, it makes sense to have like Nargacuga and Chameleos in this game, especially Zinogre. I mean, like, this game reeks of portable third in all the best ways possible. And, like when it's very Japan oriented, like especially with like the roster having like all of like the Onis or at least the demons, like the yokai and stuff like that added into the mix. It makes sense to have something like Nargacuga in the mix because it's very stealthy, ninja like, very heavy on the blades and stuff like that. And even the design of the armor is very oriented towards that sort of
I'd say more inspired by than
it pays
oriented
homage to it.
towards.
It pays homage to it. And like Chameleos and the way that the style of the fight that it uses with like, like stealth, poison, and like subverting like the use of your items and stuff like that, playing around with your stamina. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if like Chameleos outside of Freedom Unite has had that that breath attack, or at least the mucus that drops your stamina right down to like right down to the baseline, the bottom.
He had it in 4 Ultimate.
Okay, yeah, because
Okay.
I don't remember getting hit.
Been a
by
while
it
since
very
I've played that
frequently.
game.
And I do. One thing I do miss that I don't think that was in GU was his big attack where he would like just freak out and be all like, ah! And then he would just like spray poison everywhere, like in every direction. He would be like a fire hose that had gone loose and like nobody could get their hands on it. Like, it was insane. And he'd be running around all over the place just firing his head all over, firing poison, and like one hit KOing people with that attack. Like, it was insane. If he gets that move back again, I'm gonna be very excited because I miss like a lot of what Chameleos could do in the past, and I want to see more. I want more from him.
I do see where people are saying that this has a lot of portable third vibes because of the same theme and that kind of stuff. But I'm also seeing a lot of first gen vibes. We're getting a lot of first gen monsters back. Basarius, Kazoo,
Diablos, Rathalos, Rathian. I mean, Rathalos and Rathian are kind of like the staple.
Yeah, the 3 staples you can't not have. So those I wouldn't really count. I also like to talk about the fact that we got the stealth reveal of Baroth, right? Which is another try.
Yeah.
Which Jay was very happy about being his mud boy, as he calls him. But we now have all 3 mud monsters. We have Zapdos, Baroth, and Almajor.
Yeah.
So, all 3 mud monsters.
So I kind of want to see Turf Wars. I kind of want to see well, I don't want to call it Turf Wars, but yeah, I don't want to call it Turf Wars because it feels like these fights are a little bit more than just Turf Wars in some sense, because like sometimes like they seem to like really go at it when they're fighting each other. Like even like Mizutsune versus Zinogre, it feels like it's more than just a turf war.
In that
Gosharog.
That Magnamolo is quite.
Oh man, that Gosharog when he's looking at Tetranodon, he fucking throws hands, bro. It's like okay, have you guys ever seen like a hockey game where it's like Toronto Maple Leafs versus like Montreal Canadiens? Like they fuck each other
just
up.
hockey in general.
Like, they
but
just fucking
yeah.
just drop the gloves. They're like, you and me, we're going down, punk. You know, like I'm gonna throw hands and you are going to get messed. And with Gosserog, like what he did to Tetronodon, he just like lays it on him. Full on tackles him, pins him under him, and just starts beating the shit out of his face. That was like, oh man, just beating him black and blue. It was insane.
My jaw dropped when that fight first happened. I was like, he had just major, you don't come into my neighborhood vibes, and just like, laid the beat down.
I heard what you did to Arzuros. Arzuros is a bro. You don't fuck with Arzuros. I'm gonna teach you a lesson, bro. You're gonna see what I'm made of, you know? You don't mess with the Fang clan.
And then we saw with the fight that they had with Gosserog that he could ice up both arms, and I was just like, okay, how many times am I gonna die to that?
Oh man, yeah. Oh, it's like he went into like the Skyrim skill tree and he went one-handed, next level, dual wielding. Oh yeah, we're going. We're making business, baby. This is what it's about. Just comes in, boom, boom, boom.
I mean,
oh man,
my favorite dragon shout was the ice breath in Skyrim. So we just got to learn the 3 rune words for that, and there you go.
Oh yeah. I like the time slowing one. That one is one of my favorites. When you get the time slow, like I think I did a run in Skyrim where I was only using like punching, and I had to like try and get like the gloves that give you the enchantment to be able to use what was it? It was like special gloves that you could get in the Thieves Guild sewer ways, where if you were wearing them, it would boost the damage of your offhand attacks, so like punching and shit like that. And if you were able to like disenchant that and put it onto like heavy gauntlets, woo! And then if you go for the heavy armor skill bonus, that makes it so that you deal damage based off of like the defense value of your heavy gauntlets. And then time slow. You're just beating the shit out of everything. It is so good. It's so JoJo, man.
My own headcanon for Gosserog is that somewhere along the lines he saw Glavenus using its tail like a sword, and he was like, okay. But then he had a bad experience with a dual blades user, and he was like, all right, fucker.
Oh yeah.
And now we're all going to die.
The only thing he's missing is where he just goes all twinkle toes like Duran Burrows, and he just goes and hands out, and it's all like Beyblade, just mowing everybody. It's like mowing the grass with like the lawnmower, the blades out and everything. Just trimming the grass, baby.
Since he's inspired by Oni, do you think he can go into a demon mode and do a demon dance?
Isn't that when he turns red?
That would be sick.
Isn't that just demon mode?
Yeah, but like does the full hunter thing of swishing around?
Yeah, oh man, that'd actually be pretty awesome if he was able to do the demon dance with dual blades. That'd be pretty sick. I mean, as long as he's not doing perfect rush. If he just forms the shield with one hand and he just comes at you perfect rush, fucks up your day. Oh man, that's the worst thing I want to see. Shoryugeki with that thing. Oh, just uppercuts you, and then it comes down, shield bash you. No, I don't want to see this fat yeti thing with like blade hands coming at me all sword and shield like. That is terrifying, man. Oh man. Oh
so yeah,
no.
Obviously, the Gosserog info was really good. I'm very much a fan of that monster, and like it feels
it's
like
cool.
Every monster that's been revealed, for me personally, has been like, oh, that's my favorite. Oh no, that's my favorite. Oh no, that's my favorite. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like progressively.
They're all really cool. They're so
Yeah,
badass in style.
at this point, we're all sort of just like the Marge Simpson meme of like having all the monsters in her arm and just I think they're neat.
Or you're looking at one, you're like, oh, you look at the next one, oh, next one, oh, and then the last one, ah! Like, it's just amazing. Like, it just gets better and better.
Yeah, we will have to see where I land, but like, for sure, I was like, no, Acnosom's my favorite. Acnosom's my favorite. And then Somnicanth came out, and I was like, I have a problem. I have a real problem here. And then then we got Gossarog, and I was like, I don't know, I give up. Like, I can't make an opinion.
Well, the reveal trailer. Just the reveal trailer for Gossarog, where frickin' Anteka steps backward onto a stick and is like, oh fuck. No.
You done fucked up, Anteka.
Well, Fortuan, I mean, you're a dad. You should know about it. Like, everybody's your favorite, right? You can't play favorites with your kids. They're all your favorite in your heart. You know it deep down inside.
That's a very...
They're all my babies, okay? I love all my babies.
I will admit, I have a lot of love for every monster, and you will probably never see me go below a B on any of these, like, monster ratings that we do. But, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's not the same as kids, Morgan. Oh, by the way, I have a story to tell you guys. So,
do tell.
The kids got me up at 5:30 today, which means that I was sleeping on the couch while they watched cartoons again. And I woke up to Emery handing me her sopping wet Switch.
Why is it wet?
She dropped it in the toilet.
No!
So, it is now what we call in the Switch hospital.
Dump it in a batch of rice. It'll just suck all the water right out of it.
It is in a Ziploc bag full of rice. And it's going to stay there probably until she comes back over. It actually worked. It was working when she handed it to me. But it had a drift on the right stick up always. And
the water got into the sensor.
So I put it back in. So I turned it off, and it wouldn't turn back on. It no longer turned back on. So we put it in the rice. And we will see if the procedure saves the Switch. It's a Switch Lite.
Also start saving up those anti-moisture packets, the silica beads, stuff like that.
Yeah,
those can help too.
You know what also could work? A Pro controller.
Also,
or three is a safe number, actually. You always need at least.
And it is a Switch Lite, so there's no kickstand or anything. So it's meant to be held handheld.
Right.
So we will see.
I would never get a Switch Lite. I'd get the full setup. You know, I would just get the standard one.
They play. They play on handheld. I don't know if you can. No, you can't see it. Hers, actually, yeah, it's right here. CC's Switch is right here. So that's a glare. It is super glare.
Oh, what's she playing?
Minecraft.
Yay!
Minecraft.
Yeah, that's right. They were.
Now I'm not a big.
Yeah, you were trying to get them to watch the Sonic movie.
Oh God, I can't wait for her to get to the
finally
Ender Dragon and kill that thing.
We watched it.
Oh really?
We watched it
really?
last night and this morning. God, Jim Carrey's so good in that, and it is actually a legit good movie. Like, in comparison to Monster Hunter movie, which we have all seen now, very good and does very good with the property. Whereas, you know, there's a lot of like we had that
a lot to be desired.
Dude, should we just review the movie?
No, we are.
No, that's going to be a separate episode.
We are waiting for.
Okay, yeah.
to do that.
We should just get her a copy of the game of the movie, and I almost said game. No, the Monster Hunter movie as a game. There'd only be 4 monsters in it.
They'd probably do more. Actually, if
You
want to
sure?
play Monster Hunter movie as a game, hot take, play Base World. All right, let's move on.
Oh no.
So
That's a roast. I love that. That was good.
Yeah, so we already talked about Narga and Zinogre coming back. We got the stealth reveal of Baroth. What else do we have to hit with this?
There's a new Elder Dragon. Woo!
Oh, good old Twisty Shoveljaw.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me preface this. It is entirely excusable, and I don't care what you say. If you first thought that was what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Amatsu?
Amatsu.
There you go.
There's no way
If
it's
you first
Amatsu.
thought
It's
that
not
was
Amatsu.
That's entirely excusable. A, portable third is where Amatsu was in. B,
Yep.
flying, floaty, wavy dragon. Like, that is what Amatsu is, and that is exactly what this thing does. You know,
Sort of like translucent, sort of semi-white membrane
right,
all over its
and it
body,
even
a
has
crest
some-
on its head.
some horns on
The
head
horns.
and stuff that, like, at first could look like Amatsu. Upon closer inspection, clearly not Amatsu, obviously.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, because it has that double set of mandible-like jaws, which a lot of
Similar
people,
to-
myself included, are speculating is like that skeleton that we see in the lava caverns.
Yeah.
If you look at
Yeah,
the
with the
promotional
Yeah,
website
I
for the game.
noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
did
doesn't
notice
have
that
that
it was very
shovel
similar
jaw.
to that.
The skeleton
Yeah.
Well,
doesn't
that
have
could
lower
be-
jaw.
That could be
kind
a
of-
membrane, though,
It
because
kind of
the lower
looks-
jaws are a lot longer, so it's possible that it might have, with muscles and tendons and things like that, it might be able to open it up wider, which would be just my thought and my speculation.
I'm not going to say that Monster Hunter is entirely based on realism, but that won't work. If you want to talk about realism, if there's no point for a muscle to attach to, it doesn't work.
Fucking realism. Oh my god, I don't see, like... How do people, like, associate Monster Hunter with any measure of realism? We can fall from, like, thousands of feet from the air, down on the ground, poof! Okay, yeah, we're back and going. Oh, by the way, I'm just gonna pull this mega barrel bomb out of my ass pocket. Like, where the fuck do you
Okay,
even put all
yes.
your items?
It's
Like,
not
that makes no
realistic.
sense!
I get it. But what I'm saying is they try to make believable monsters, right? They try to describe and explain why things are, right? And a jaw that
Some
is
of them, yes.
purely- like if a thing is just purely muscle and there's no bone for it to pull on, it does nothing.
Well, my saying would be that with the mandible, how it's sort of like an L shape, you know, the muscle and the tendons would be attached to the bone itself, not necessarily the membrane or anything around that.
Its jaw kind
Obviously,
of...
it's all just
Yeah.
speculation on my end on that, but that's my thought. I'm gonna buy into the I don't know, groupthink at this point.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think there's.
I don't know.
I don't think it is because you have the skeleton looks like this is the head, like a more traditional dragon head, right? So you got like this, whereas the Amatsu looking thing doesn't seem to have that sort of traditional dragon neck here. It doesn't seem
That
to have
and-
that structure. And the head looks a little bit more like lizard-like, whereas the Amatsu thing doesn't. Like there's some differences there. I think
There's also, like, these interesting eye bones that are around the inside of the socket on the fossil, kind of similar to, I think it's called Dunkleosis, I think it's called. It's like an armored fish.
yeah, Dunkley.
It's the one that, yeah, it's the
bone
one with,
teeth.
like, the skull that has the bone teeth. Yeah. It's very similar to that. Whereas, like, this Amatsu-looking thing, I don't know even what it's called. I don't want to even speculate what it's called or give any spoilers, because people do have titles for the names, apparently, but I don't know which one it is. it kind of like has like aspects of like Valhazak mixed with like a predator. Like it has two sets of jaw, but they split apart, which is interesting. I don't know what kind of elements it might have. Like I mean, it might be like a Matsu where it utilizes like weather conditions and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool.
If anything is ever called wind element, I give up because the Monster Hunter Orochi does not deserve any legitimacy.
I feel like there should be some sort of like an air-based element in that game because I mean like Kushala Daora utilizes that to a T. Like everything that it focuses around is like wind current, air currents. It utilizes, turbulent winds, tornadoes, air breath shock attacks and stuff like that.
Do not legitimize Monster Hunter Orochi trash. I read that and it's terrible.
I'm not legitimizing that because I don't even know what the fuck that is. But
it was a very bad.
I'll be right back. I gotta run to the bathroom.
Okay, I'll see you in a bit. But I mean, like, I think that there should be like some sort of a wind element because I don't think that Kushala should be restricted, specifically to ice element just because the first times, that I fought Kushala was in the Snowy Peaks, in Freedom Unite, and then just because its element was able to do cold ice damage or bundle me up in a snowball. I don't think that's really fair because I mean, what about the jungle areas? Shouldn't it be able to utilize ice there as well? It should be similar to like what Elatreon does when it does its ice breath going back and forth, shooting icicles and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, it could be that. I mean, Amatsu definitely is water. Yeah, I mean, like, that one specific, it makes sense because it does fire aqua jets all over the place. Not the Pokemon move, guys. Don't confuse that. But I mean, like, yeah, it fires those beams of water that, like, leave, like, a trajectory line and then explode the ground. And, like, it's caught in a storm all the time. It's raining and pouring. It's just heavy clouds everywhere. So, I mean, it makes sense for it to be associated with the water element because it is a very heavy water dragon kind of thing. Like it affects the weather patterns and everything like that. And what affects weather patterns most frequently? Well, water, of course, because clouds, obviously, the temperature of like air currents and stuff like that, that's affected by water. Ice affects air current and affects like the temperature of air. Oceanic currents, like getting things like what is that thing called? What is it called? But I mean, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense for Amatsu to have an association with the water element. I mean, Kushala could have water element. That'd be pretty interesting. I think actually, no. It'd probably be pretty bland, but getting his own element would be cool.
What they did with Namiele with
dual water type. That's probably one of the reasons why I love Namielle. A lot of people would hate it, and they're like, "Oh, it's trash. It's a terrible monster." I'm like, "No, it's a great monster. No. It has dual type element.
It was one of my
and it's beautiful."
In Iceborne, it was my favorite monster in Iceborne.
And it's one of those few monsters that has like varying different forms. Like it has like 4 different types of forms. Like it has hydrated and dry and electrified and not, and then they can synchronize. They can correlate, but exactly, they correlate with each other. So you could be electrified and dry, or you could be electrified and hydrated, or have no electricity at all and be just hydrated or not. It's a really cool monster. Like it's actually really awesome, and I feel like people aren't giving it the credit that it deserves because it is pretty damn awesome. And I like that it's how it's able to synchronize or at least unify the 2 elements of electricity and water together to make something that is completely different that most other monsters are not able to capitalize on. And I mean, like electricity and water very strongly associated with a lot of like bioluminescent life that you would find in the deep oceanic areas, or even like electric eels or like what is it, hammerhead sharks are able to use like sensory organs to pick up the electric fields that are produced by prey animals that they emit. Like they can use that to hunt down like certain types of rays that bury themselves in the sand, so they can just go over, and they may not be able to see them, but they can detect the electrical current that is emitted by its body, and then they just go down, dive, hit it, attack it, eat it. That is based.
Gotcha.
I said based again. But yeah, but I mean, like, Namiel being able to like use like stuff that is actually seen in real life, that's cool.
Okay. I wonder if
Fight me on that, guys. Fight me on it.
I did something to mess with the audio. Hopefully that fixed it. Anyways, let me know, Cloud, if you're still in there, because I can't. A lot of people left, probably because of the audio issues, or they're just.
Oh no.
Oh, cool.
Well, I'm gonna check. I'm actually gonna check the stream and see like what's going on in there, because I want to know what's going on. Okay, guys, let's see what's happening.
I actually had a setting that. All right, is that better?
Chat only. Apply.
Cloud is my savior. Is that better? Cloud has been a faithful watcher of my Twitch stuff when I was just doing it, so I'm appreciative that he's here.
How you doing?
My name is Cloud.
Hello,
I have a sword,
Cloud.
and I throw rocks when I am
I
bored.
fixed the audio issue.
Sweet.
Yay!
I'm a genius. No, I'm not. Anyways,
Now I'm in chat.
Back
I hope
to
you guys appreciate this. I love you guys that much.
Back to what we were talking about. Yeah, apparently my mic was turned down really far on the XSplit. So there we go.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's not good.
So I'd like to see like what all we have. Of course, we have our official spreadsheets. More, do you still have what you filled out? No, you don't.
No, I do not.
And you've been spoiled already too.
Yeah, I have. I've been spoiled. But you know what? I'm the kid who does not like surprises. I will check. You know, people will be like, ooh, take a guess. And I'll be like, just tell me. Just tell me. You know, if you already know, you know, if you're going to force me to guess and you're going to tell me anyways, just tell me. I don't care. You know, spoil my Christmas present. I don't care. I'll just go on Amazon anyways and buy my own shit. I'm bad. I'm bad for Christmas. Mostly because, you know, my family's poor as fuck. But, you know, we just buy nice stuff for each other, you know. That's very simple and very basic. And then, you know, it's like, hey, I love you. I'm going to give you some chocolate this year. Oh, thank you. Hey, you know that movie that you always wanted that you complained about never having? Yeah? Well, I got it for you. Oh, why would you do that? You know, kind of thing. It's really funny. Some of the people in my house are actually very resentful about getting gifts. So, you know, half the time we just buy each other just meaningless, one-time consumable stuff. It's really funny.
Well,
but outside of that, yeah, I don't like surprises. I just like knowing. If somebody already knows the answers to stuff, it's nice to just know. It's okay.
So
surprises are great.
Our guessing. I guess Pan and I will have resources to look at it, and you two can just twiddle your thumbs.
Well, I mean
that's what I do anyways.
The links aren't credible for shit.
I include you, Ace. Honest. I include you.
Yeah, Ace isn't on this. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I do know some of the stuff that's going to come in is going to be true, but not everything is on that list, I think, is actually going to come. For example, they did not say that Zamtrios was going to come yet. They don't know for sure. It might, which is why I'm not believing everything that is on the spoilers list. It's a fun speculation, but I don't think it's entirely credible. Not everything that everybody's floating around is going to be accurate.
That is true, because people can say they pulled it from the demo files and that kind of thing, and it don't mean shit sometimes. Could be an old version.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly. I found a funny tweet where some guy was like, "Hey, spoilers! Here's the Magnamolo fight with heavy bowgun," and it's like this big black and red furry dog thing. I have no idea what the hell it was. And then like just a reticle, like a reticle for like an aimer for like basic heavy bowgun or whatever it is, and some guy who was like just running around naked, and it doesn't even look like he's holding a heavy bowgun. It's like some weird Lego brick piece of shit that he's got in his hands. It was the funniest thing I ever saw, and I'm looking at the post and I'm like, huh, January 12th? Okay, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Cloud.
So then I go retweet with quote, lol.
Cloud makes a good point. We got a leak that said Orochi Kirin in World, and we never got that.
Exactly.
That is a very good point.
That's why.
Nothing's
That's
credible.
why I never put any stock in leaks, and plus,
and
I mean,
fuck the people that
I think a lot of these,
because that's terrible.
Isn't it possible that some of these leaks have come from the people that tried to use ransomware on Capcom? And if
That is
that's
very
true,
possible. That is very possible.
I don't. Yeah,
Because
which
they
that's why I don't want to
attacked.
look into it. I don't want to put any stock into it because that sort of just passively reinforces it and backs it up. And I mean, more recently we had an issue with CD Projekt Red where, hackers went in and released a bunch of information or obtained a bunch of information and tried to use that as ransom against CD Projekt Red. And despite all the problems with 2077 and CD Projekt Red, that's not an excuse to, do this shitty ass stuff to jeopardize people's jobs, to jeopardize a company's success or sustainability. It's just an all-right thing to do. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't support it. So, as best I can, I try to avoid any leaks because it's just a shitty practice all around, in my opinion.
Why don't they attack BioWare or EA or Bethesda? Like the ones, like the real piece of shit companies that actually deserve to get hacked.
No one deserves to get hacked, I would say.
Just a little bit. Gotta have just a little crusading, Do a little evil for the good of everyone. No,
I would say EA should be EA should be held accountable for their actions, to be sure, but I don't think they deserve to be hacked.
True.
I don't know.
I'm with Ace on this one.
Because obtaining companies and then running them into the ground and shutting them down, that's really shitty.
Being a current
Meanwhile, I'll be
victim
making
of identity
Diesel X
fraud,
in my backyard.
it is not a fun experience. All right,
Mm-hmm.
I had a
No,
freaking
it's not
heyday getting my driver's license because they didn't believe me who I was, standing in the BMV. Like,
yeah, that's brutal.
just like whatever. Like,
And yeah, the real problem is that it doesn't affect the big wigs, who are directly responsible for a lot of the shit happening in video game industry anyways. Because they're the ones who are forcing these games to come out before they're even ready. They're directly responsible for the problem.
Everything's a case-by-case basis. It's very rare that we get the full picture of what happened to a game and what happened to a company. Again, I will shout out a YouTube channel on here that everyone should be watching. It's Gamers, and it's spelled with a V instead of an A. GVMERS. They do documentaries, kind of like No Clip, but more into the business side of things and more into the public perception rather than talking to developers and that kind of stuff, like No Clip does. Where No Clip is very much about the positive stories for developers, which is great. We've got to watch No Clip too. No Clip's amazing, but GVmers, or gamers as they call themselves, are a very good like historical look at certain franchises. They do talk about the rise and fall of Dead Space, and they talk about how EA meddled with Dead Space and killed it. And you learn a lot. Like, even as a gamer, we forget sometimes where companies came from, what they worked on, that kind of stuff. We forget some of the very public information it has said sometimes. And they Gamers is a very, very good resource for learning about the rise and fall of many series.
Yeah.
Right.
I am looking forward to a lot of their content this year. They're supposed to ratchet it up because they barely survived COVID. Obviously, a lot of people barely survived COVID, but
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Now,
that sidetrack.
oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that Cloud 4K actually left a little comment. He said, with CD Projekt Red, it was the source code for Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty rough. That's pretty. No matter how bad the game was, you shouldn't do that. That's intellectual property that they own and are trying to make money off of. That's not stealing the car. That's stealing the blueprints in the factory for the car. That's
Yeah.
That's yeah. It's a little rough.
I'm gonna be very interested to see what kind of third-party games are gonna be produced with that.
No,
I
know I said we were going to get into this chronologically, which we did not at all. We started at the end of this stuff, but we do still have the Magnamolo fight to talk about. Now, as you said in the beginning of the episode, Morg, you have yet to beat it. Ace, I am unaware if you've beat it or not. I don't think you have.
I have not. I've given it a few casual attempts today. I've had some pretty good solid runs, and I've definitely been carding less and less, so I'm getting better at it, or at least at staying alive. Obviously, like we've talked about, I think if even in solo, if we had 5 more minutes in the fight, it would probably be lock key done. But I think they wanted to sort of twist the knife a little bit, because in the stream they said it was upturned a little bit or upscaled to be a lot more difficult in the demo than in the actual game, which I kind of actually like.
I feel like that's an understatement. It definitely is like upscaled by a lot. Like, holy fuck!
Now, again, I mentioned the identity theft stuff. I've been dealing with that quite a bit recently with the driver's license, and I'm getting calls from, a company that say I owe money, which I don't. And that was playing a lot into my very uncomfortable feelings yesterday. And then fighting Magnamolo on top of that, I got really mad at the game. This is the most mad I've been at Monster Hunter ever. And it was a lot of outside things pulling against me, and then I tried to solo him. Now, I did get that really awesome clip that I did put up on Twitch. Although I don't know what the hell my Switch did when I posted it, because it's the text on it is supposed to be when you start feeling it ... and what it actually says is when you follow start over feeling it. And I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. I was like, okay, bud. Nice clip though.
Yeah, like, what the Switch? You drunk?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just that was like the one really good clip. I still failed that fight that you're looking at, and I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I'm never playing this demo again. We ended up playing a little bit of the demo last night, some more, and I felt a lot better about it. And I don't need to prove myself to beat this. Obviously, I haven't beat it yet either. I do not consider myself a stellar hunter. I think I'm good. I think all three of us are good, having hunted together so much in the past 6 months. That, I think all of us are definitely above average, I would say. Well, I have no qualms bringing you guys into an Elatrion fight. We've done EXs. We did the EX, Red Helm together, and having done other deviants lately, I will say that, I understand why Red Helm was so hard. Red Helm actually has some very dangerous attacks that you just sort of brush off, because Red Helm is doesn't do enough damage for you to care. But when he does enough damage for you to care, you're like, oh, Whereas other monsters like Bloodbath, I feel more comfortable with a Bloodbath fight than I did with Red Helm. I really do.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, when he does that sequence of like paw swipes where he comes in and he homes in on you, and even if you get away from like the first couple of them, he will pivot around and he'll start chasing you and still keep doing the paw swipes. And they do a hefty chunk of damage with the EX.
that will kill
and
you.
Fuck.
And if you
like,
stand
heaven
up,
forbid
it
he
will
comes
kill
at you
you.
with the paw swipe where he comes in and bear hugs you. And yeah, that was a pun. Yeah, that can do some serious damage. And like if you're playing as Palico, you're gonna get one hit KO'd no matter what he does. But yeah, with Magnamolo and with the Rise mechanics and like how combat works with the controls for that game, it's a completely different game. It's completely different. It is not the same game at all. So like in all the time that I've spent in playing GU when I should have been practicing for Rise, I mean, like, I think I only spent like 5 hours on Rise, and that was like after the first couple of days that I was playing it and just, you know, getting used to the controls and having fun. And then I left it for like I don't know how many months, because I don't know when did the demo come out? Sometime in January?
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. So I left it for all the rest of January, February. It is now March. And I only just started getting back into it.
I touched it that first week, and that was it. The first couple days, and that was it. And I didn't play it again until Magnamolo. That's fair, though. Like that's one of the things that we talked about on that GOG and I had a discussion about on the Discord. Is that, you know, it's cool that they're giving us this preview. It's really cool that they are. But the problem is that you don't get any progression. You'll get the item pack or whatever. But the item pack is nothing. It means nothing if you're an experienced hunter. It's just like, oh, I don't have to farm X amount of items. Whoop-de-doo.
I think it's mostly bragging rights. You know, mostly.
And I don't really care about bragging rights. I really don't.
I do. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's a cherry on top. You know what I mean? It's like a personal... It's a personal like goal to beat it. Sure, I'd be happy with myself. I'd feel pretty good about myself if we beat Magnamolo or I soloed it or whatever. I never soloed a Latreon or Fatalis. I never felt that was a endeavor worth doing for me personally. I want to enjoy other things. And for me, there's no progression in this, right? This is purposely tuned up to be harder. And you're like, that kind of stuff. And someone who my self-worth as a hunter means 0 to this demo. Right? Like 0. Like I don't.
Well, I would say like what you've been saying for the Monster Hunter movie. This demo is basically meant to be like an interactive ad for the game, and for those of us who have played the series, it's and newcomers coming in. I feel it's more so meant to be like get you sort of up to speed on the mechanics of the game, so that you can, you know, come into it with a little bit of knowledge of what you're in for. Something I have listed in my notes is the mechanic of the switch skills. So with the wire bugs and stuff and the wire bug attacks, we're going to have customizable move sets, and you can change them out during the quest too. So if something just isn't working for you, if you get carded, you can go and switch that out. Obviously, we don't get that in the demo, which I wouldn't expect because it's very limited in its scope.
I think
why would they do that? Why would they give away everything in the demo? It wouldn't make sense to do that.
Because they're an ad. And I agree 100% with Ace. And I have said this before. The demos are an ad. They're not meant to be, let's play Monster Hunter early. Remember that Capcom and Monster Hunter is in there to make money. That doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them, you know, this is a product. And the demos are an ad because they do generate, I mean, the eShop going down again, like that's good publicity for them. Like,
well, yeah. And to nail the point home, when you're done with each and every quest, it pops up the screen. Would you like to go to the eShop and pre-order this game?
Yeah, even though I already have the collector's edition.
Even though we've already pre-ordered it.
Yeah. Well, I would expect that from us, but
like I said,
just for the general person who doesn't know Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, Cloud puts up another point. In the World and Iceborne betas, you got a pack for each individual hunt.
Yeah, you did.
Which I wouldn't know about because I didn't get the demos. But I mean, it's cool.
No, you did.
Um,
And I didn't finish the Iceborne ones. I never beat Tigrex on the Iceborne one. I fought him and I was like, oh, damn. He's Tigrex. Sure as hell he's Tigrex and he's aggressive. All right, I'm out. Like, I didn't care because, like, I had put Iceborne, you know, I had put World down because I had already platinumed it. Now, here's the thing. I've been talking about wanting to get all the EXs done before Rise comes out. So my goals have changed. I don't think that's even going to happen. I'm definitely not getting crown hunting done in Generations Ultimate. Even though that's a soft goal, I don't see myself... Here's the thing. The Magnamolo demo has showed that this game is going to be intriguing. Like, even though we were getting our stuff stomped by Magnamolo, it was a fun and fair fight.
Well,
It was. It was really
even
fair.
so, we have a pretty good synergy and communication between not just us three, but like several of the others, like Goggin,
Jay,
Deluge, your brother Jay,
Darth, my brother. You know, Darth being his screen.
So
yeah.
So I'd just say, even to like those who happen to just listen to the podcast, if you're having trouble with the demo, don't take it personally. It's definitely just upscaled, and it's if you've been carding, so have we.
Don't worry.
So have a lot of the other people out there. Even on the stream, both Eric's and Socks carded. It's meant to be a very hard demo.
And
if you're looking for a solid crew to roll with too, feel free to join our Discord as well.
Hey,
Casual
and if
plug.
you're on the Twitch right now,
free.
There is a link to the Discord. I set up all those social links.
Perfect.
But
I was actually going to say that it's no big deal if you can't beat Magnamolo solo or even with a group. It is designed to be very, very challenging. They purposefully made it so that it would be extremely difficult for you guys to beat it. And you know, there's no problem in not beating it. I mean, for me, it's personal pride, and because I put my profile picture on Twitter on the line here in order to be able to beat this thing. But I mean, like guys
always
like
welcome when you
Cantor,
can, Cloud. Yeah.
Like guys like True Cantor have only beaten it twice as far as I've seen, and he wanted to do it on stream, but he was not able to successfully beat it on stream consistently, like not at all even. Like I was going to say consistently, but I mean he's only beaten it twice. And like the guys from Rage Gaming, they had to develop a specific strategy, and they had to hope to God that Magnamolo was going to cooperate with that strategy for them to be able to beat it. And they only ever beaten it once, as far as I know. So I mean, like, and even Herney has not been able to beat it. He's put out videos and strategy guides to be able to beat it.
Even us, we started creating a specific routine. We would instantly go into
we have disagreements
pitfall, potions,
on that routine.
Everything else.
We have disagreements on that routine, but yes, we do have a routine. Yeah.
And there's a very specific pathing that Fortuan first did, and then Gog introduced his pathing. Obviously, there's some variation in there.
I adopted part of his path. I think some parts of his path are A, unnecessary, and B, way too far out of the way. Whereas he's like, oh yeah, you can get to Magnamolo within a minute 30. I'm like, yeah, I'm under a minute on my path, including your stuff.
Yeah.
Like we book it. Like,
which all things considered, it's not going to be that big of an issue when we get the actual game, because we won't have that super minuscule time constraint.
Yeah, I think
we're gonna have 50 minutes to beat it, and he's not gonna do half as much damage as he usually does. And then on top of that, we're also gonna have armor skills to actually help us.
We're actually
gonna
have armor skills and weapons that do elements, and all that stuff. On top of that, I think there are 3 major factors in the demo itself, or actually maybe 4 that you brought that up. The actual gear being not what it's supposed to be. So we've got no armor skills and gear, basically gear acting pretty flat as to what they are.
Yeah.
We've got the fact that it is 15 minutes. I think we all agreed that 20 minutes it would be doable, a lot more doable.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
We've got the fact that we don't have ability to customize the weapons that are supposed to be balanced around in this game. So we can't switch out wire bug moves we don't like. We can't switch out weapon skills which we don't like. You know, and I will say, as a result of not being, this is like a sort of like subset of number 3. As a result, I feel that certain weapons in this demo are inherently weaker in comparison to what they should be for this fight. Or I felt the difference a lot more with Magnamolo. It exposed the weaknesses that I didn't see before. For instance, the Greatsword felt really good on the first 2 fights. It felt extremely frustrating on Magnamolo because you can't get a lot of charge slashes in. You just can't with the risk and the movement and that kind of stuff. Now, granted, that's also me relearning how to play Rise on top of all of this, but like, there is a wire bug skill that I do not care for, and that is the evade and then sheath. Like, basically, I call it the Valor sheath, the wire bug sheath, like where you charge up your slash. I feel that, like, with Magnamolo, that kind of feels useless. Now, probably a lot of people are in disagreement because they don't like the bounce. The bounce is my favorite. Like, I will keep that bounce in no matter what. But the other one, I guess, is the charge up thing. They actually talked about the third wire bug move for Greatsword. I didn't see what it was, but I heard it was like the wire bug charge or something like that. Is it just like another counter for the Greatsword?
For the Greatsword, what it is it's an evasive move that you can use that will actually boost the damage of your Greatsword attacks.
No, that's the one I don't like.
Of time.
That's the one I don't like, Morg. I'm talking about the one that we don't have in the demo. They showed it off in the
that one
stream. The clip that they show it in is he's doing a charge. I think he does the wire bug move. Somnicanth drops on top of him essentially, and he just knocks Somnicanth out.
Yeah,
he's just like
the Brimstone Slash. I remember that one. Yeah. That was a hunter art in GU, and it actually is pretty good under certain circumstances. Like, if you know that the monster isn't going to be able to one-hit KO, know that it's targeting you, it is a great skill to have. It's kind of a big gambit to use it, but when it pays off, it is incredible.
It could work for the Magnamolo dive. Like, when he does the circle around and jumps up and like...
He does cover a lot of ground, like, even after impact. Like, he doesn't land directly right where he blows the ground up when he uses that move. He does have, like, a bit of distance after that. But, I mean, it could be useful if he were to stay in place. There were a couple of things that I actually went online and found out about, was that when he uses the Hellfire, they have separate hit zone values from body parts, and when you reach those thresholds, you know, it causes them to topple over, which is great. And a friend of mine, after some testing and playing around with stuff, he found out that Magnamolo's weakness is water. Because apparently the mud beetle, when you use it, it's the only one that causes a flinch, like a stagger, as opposed to the other ones, which would just apply the blight. Which is really cool. I didn't realize this. So now we know when we go into the big Magnamolo fight in the game, we can just bring a water weapon. So it's going to make things hella easier. And because we have all this experience with fighting him in the demo, even if we don't beat him in the demo, which, I mean, like, it's fair, it's understandable. A lot of people are having trouble with it. You know, it's going to make the fight that much easier, actually having experience, having fought him, because you know what his moveset is. Or at least most of it, for the most part, because we know that some of it's going to be changed around, right? So it's going to be nice to have that extra little bit of info when we're going to be fighting him, because it may only take maybe 1 or 2 fights to maybe beat him in the official game. So this is good.
Well,
even just in the casual fighting, I really like how he gets like that really haunting visual when he builds up his Hellfire
Mhm.
on his back and stuff, and then his eyes start glowing and have like the wispy trails on them. I really
Yeah.
like that, and so far he's sitting at like a tentative S+ tier for me right now.
Oh, he's excellent. He's really.
I don't
He's
know.
way more than a Zenoka ripoff.
I still get heart palpitations thinking about those fights I had yesterday when I was angry. Like I just, I'm not a fan of the upscaled difficulty, honestly.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that I have to beat him. Obviously, it's just that it feels unfair. It feels like I don't like artificial difficulty, and just tweaking numbers really just irritates me. I just like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but they are trying to show that the game has teeth, right? They are trying to show
which is
that it's
funny.
not easy.
I was yesterday as I was driving home, I was passively listening to a most difficult bosses to beat list, and they were talking about how there were some that took like 40 hours at a time to beat or something crazy, and I'm just like, ooh, that's hitting a bit too close to home right now.
Where's Magnamolo on that list?
I wouldn't be surprised if like Ninja Gaiden.
That is a good point, Cloud.
Like
yes, yes, it does have a Rocksteady super armor type effect. Yeah, the
Brimstone
slash. Mm-hmm. Yep, that is true.
Yeah, because to be fair, Greatsword was not a world weapon for me. I did not play Greatsword in World, and so it's like I played Greatsword in Generations Ultimate, and I'm playing it in Rise. So like I am learning, skipping a generation of learning. It feels like with Greatsword, I'm further behind the curve on Greatsword than most others who have been playing Greatsword. Because in World I mained Longsword in the base game, and then I switched over to Hammer, and then I switched over to Chargeblade eventually in Iceborne.
Well, I mean, I can't fault you for that, but I mean, I will give you the benefit of the doubt that even if you'd played a lot of these weapons in World, a lot of the stuff that they had changed in Rise makes them considerably different. Like the baseline mechanics of the weapons
I've
fighting
played every weapon
is
in
similar.
Rise. I've played them all. I picked Greatsword because I felt like I was doing the best with it.
Which that's the case right now with me and Hunting Horn.
Right, and it's fitting my playstyle the most, which is how I pick weapons. Right. I unfortunately will never pick Hunting Horn, Hammer, or the bows, or the ranged weapons because they don't fit my style, and horns can't cut tails, and hammers can't cut tails. That's just
which is fine.
Simple fact.
I'll have you there.
I like to.
I'll have you there to take care of that. Or the Palamute, potentially.
As many clips on Twitch has seen, I will take care of that tail, even if you had literally just mounted it.
Oh boy, yes. We all know. Anybody who has followed me on Twitter knows full well what you are capable of doing with the Greatsword.
No, it was. I completed the mount, and then you lopped it off, and I was just like, "Oh, sweet! It lost its tail."
Morg has a clip out there when he was in the mounting animation, and I cut the tail off, and he missed it.
Oh.
You also did a stagger. You also managed to achieve a stagger just before I was able to complete getting onto the mount, and I got kicked off, and I was like, ooh. I was so mad, but it was okay. It was okay because I worked hard for that mount. I was gonna get the second mount anyways. It was all good.
Yeah. Yep. So for me, like I enjoyed that we got to fight Magnamolo. I'm probably gonna tune off on it quite a bit now that I've had my quote unquote fill of it. If I beat it, cool. That's like, but with other people playing. I'm going to be focusing on the PS5 right there up until Rise comes out because I just got it. I mean, we're on week 2 of me having it. I still got to beat God of War, and I still want to hit Miles Morales before Rise comes out, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get both done before Rise comes out, and I don't know if I'm going to continue to play the PS5 when Rise comes out, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, yeah, I still have to play Sinking City. But with Rise coming along the way, I don't even know if I'm even gonna touch half the games I bought.
And like beginning of April, I've got Oddworld coming out, which isn't a lot of time. And I'm a huge Oddworld fan. Not as near as much as Monster Hunter, obviously, but I really want to see what Soulstorm brought to the table. I really want to play Snap when it comes out. Now, Snap will be easy to play.
Oh, I
because
can understand
Snap,
that, Cloud.
Snap
I can understand that. Neglecting the PS5.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to neglect my PS5, but yeah, it's going to happen. Snap's going to be easy to play because I am playing that with the daughters. So I will be playing it with the daughters. At least I think. If they don't attach to it and I just spend 120 on a game, it's 2 copies of a game they don't play. Welcome to my life of having bought Cooking Mama for them.
I'll take one.
Oh, that game. Yes, I know about that game. I think it was on
they might like it.
Jaden Animations game.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's very challenging. Like, it's more challenging than you'd think. It's not just some baby's game. Okay, I know what you guys are thinking. It's like, ooh,
no, I'm not saying it's a baby's
just a
game.
kid for little children.
Cece competently was playing Gooigi on Luigi's Mansion 3, so like she's not terrible at games. She's just gets frustrated.
Yeah.
Although playing Minecraft with her today was a bit of a challenge because if she gets attacked by anything, she screams. And it's just like, calm down, kid. We encountered like whatever these flying things are, with like flying manta rays. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I have never seen them in Minecraft.
I've seen them before. Now, if she ever gets in trouble with a creeper, all she has to do is just dig down 2 squares in front of her and then lure the creeper into that hole. It will fill the hole completely. It can't dig itself out. All she has to do is just attack it a few times. If it starts hissing and starts glowing white, back the hell away from it and it'll blow up.
No,
and you're safe. You got rid of the creeper.
She just freaks the hell out, man. She just freaks. She won't even fight a spider. She won't even do it.
Well, which one of your kids is it? Because I'm just gonna give her the message. Okay, yeah, older child of Fortuan. If you are watching this, I'm hoping that you go onto YouTube, and just check this video out, because I'm going to tell you flat, you don't have to panic. You can get away from a lot of these monsters if you just dig a hole and you lead them into the hole. They will fall into it. They can't get out. You will be safe. It's all good. And if you're worried about if you're worried about monsters getting into your house or something like, or into your proximity, plant a whole bunch of cactuses around your house and build a fence. You will be safe. They will take damage within close proximity to the cacti, and you will be just fine. And if you run into an Enderman, wear a pumpkin.
Now,
wear the jack-o'-lantern as a helmet. You can't see that you're looking at it.
There is a step between the combining the carved pumpkin to the torch. I see that. I can't see anything. How do you get the carved pumpkin?
Here, wait. Actually, I'm gonna take a look on the guide because I don't.
Welcome to.
Been like a million years
doesn't know Minecraft, so we're
gonna
give him Minecraft tips. Because
if there's a way, let me see.
Only like 15 years late to the party. Like,
I'm actually gonna Google this shit. Let's actually take a look at this. Actually, no. Fortuan's child, do not repeat anything that I say. I am a bad person, okay? Do not repeat everything that I say. I say bad words. You do not say bad words, okay?
Oh, man. So here's another funny kid story.
Going off the fucking rails.
Here's another funny story.
Pumpkin in
my younger one, Emery, is she likes to say she likes to say words that skirt the tails on what she's allowed to say. So, her mom says it's a cuss word. You're not allowed to say "what the heck," and I was like, "That's not a cuss word, and it never will be." And Because I said, what the heck? And and my older one was like, Daddy said a bad word. I was like, that's not a bad word. I can say the real bad word. Do you want me to say the real bad word? Because I will. and she was like, so my younger one was like, so we're allowed to say what the heck? And I'm like, yes. And she goes, what the heck? What the heck? What the? And she was doing that today. She's like, what the heck, Daddy? Ha 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 ha. Like, just. She just likes it.
Okay.
That's cute.
Okay, so the pumpkins already have faces carved into them when they grow before the 1.13 update. So let me see.
Before the 1. See, I am post 1.13. So what do I do? Take an axe to it? Like,
let me see. Crafting. Let me see. There's the jack-o'-lantern, so you can combine it with a torch. But what does the jack-o'-lantern do? Is it the same thing? Can you wear it?
Yes, it is the jack-o'-lantern. I know that much. But there is a step between pumpkin and carved pumpkin. And I don't know how to achieve carved pumpkin with a face.
I am going to look this up. Carved pumpkin. Carved pumpkin.
Anyways.
Welcome, listeners, to Hunter's Hub, where we give you pro tips on Minecraft.
The kin
You do have
pumping.
a TNT and a Minecraft poster in your background.
Yeah, you got me there. There's also a Mario lamp here on the side. There's.
I mean, no one can forget the guys that like to appear when Morg is going off the rails too much.
There's also a big
pumpkin.
Pikachu plush that's been staring at me, and then there's a Batman statue, and then we got some Legend of Zelda marquees. So it's pretty nice.
The two best buds holding hands.
You guys are my best friends. Yeah. All right, so let me see.
And then I'm sure you've noticed, but I've had the Rathalos Hunter on the top of my mic the whole time.
Yep. Okay, so I don't think we have much else to say on Magnamolo. Obviously, we've been having fun with it. I've had some personal frustrations that bled into Monster Hunter, but I guess so. Next week we're going to be talking about D&D stories, if I remember correctly.
Oh, so that's how you do it. Okay, so a carved pumpkin, you need a pair of shears. That makes sense.
So you shear the pumpkin. Gotcha.
I thought it might be that, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You require the materials to make a carved pumpkin. Is the pumpkin and the shears. Yep. Very, very simple. You hold the shears. You use the shears. Next, you use the shears on the pumpkin, and carve the face into the pumpkin. Simple as that. So then you just wear a carved pumpkin on your head, and then you're safe from the Enderman. He can't see you. He won't attack you. It might be a problem if you're trying to fight the Ender Dragon.
I have a diamond sword and full armor. I go after Endermen. I'm like, where are they? Where are they? Kill, dude. I tell you what though, when I was playing, I'd never played Minecraft until last year, and I'd never played it till on Switch. The Endermen are the first enemy in a game since I was a kid that freaked me out. The first time I saw one, I was like,
it's creepy.
I'm a 32-year-old man. This is not okay. Why am I this scared of a video game right now? What is the Enderman doing to me? Like,
Well, it is super creepy that in just looking at it, it'll decide, hey, you deserve to die.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
well, I mean, NCH Productions gave me the biggest scare when he put out the Pokemon Moves Poltergeist video. If you ever seen that, it is creepy. He turns a Mr. Mime doll into the scariest thing I had ever seen. It has full on teeth. Crazy jagged teeth, and it's entangling this poor Riolu, and it drags her to the bed, and the poor Riolu's legs just kicking and struggling as it gets dragged under and it gets killed. I'm like, ah, no, don't do this to me, NCH. You evil.
He's
He's
an awesome dude. Huh?
He's awesome. I love him. He's a great animator. It's funny, and we've had discussions about stuff. But
I mean,
yeah, don't ever do that again, NCH.
Self-plug. He's been on the show.
And we would love to have him back on.
Yeah.
If he ever has the time. But, I mean, he's busy. Animators are. It makes sense. Got to make ends meet. Doing a lot of drawing stuff. It's very tedious.
Yeah.
And I know, because I've done animations before.
Not I. I have not been drawing at all since I got the PS5.
Yeah, picture it like this. 24 frames per second is what you would get for a really good animation. And if you're hand drawing everything frame by frame, that's 24 drawings every second that you are presenting in your animation. It is insane. So imagine if you do a 10-minute video. 600 times 24. Oh, scary.
Guess what? I now own Primal Season 1, Part 2. I normally got to watch it.
Nice.
I just found it for purchase today on YouTube, and I was like, done. In fact, so like on my computer, I don't know if you guys know how YouTube works, but you can have like a parent account and then sub accounts on your YouTube. So I normally watch things through my parent account, but parent accounts can't watch purchased products. Only sub accounts can. Yes, it's really weird. So you have to watch. So I was like, I normally watch everything through my sub account. So my sub account was linked to my PlayStation 5 and PS4. So now my sub account, I moved all of my subscriptions that I care to still stay subscribed to my sub account, so I can just start using that and watch Primal again. Because it. Oh my god.
Cloud has recommended that I read Adventures manga. I think I'm gonna pass on that because I've seen what happens. I watched an Arbok get cut in half. I know exactly what it is. There's a zombie Psyduck. It is screwed, man. It is messed. It is no.
It is.
Misty is over sexualized. Scary. All scary stuff. I think I'll pass.
Misty being over-sexualized has been a thing since Misty existed.
I mean, it's a given. Everybody knows about Rule 34, and she wears, like, the skimpiest clothes. She is such a slut. Yeah. Cheap. Easy. Trash.
That's going to be a flag on the play.
Oh, no. We're going to get demonetized.
Have to actually be monetized for that to happen.
Yeah, I know.
So anything more on Magnamolo before we wrap it up?
I like it. It's exciting. It's fun. It's challenging. I'm happy that even the pros are struggling to beat this thing. But I am so coming for that win. That W is mine. I don't care how I have to do it.
Good luck,
I don't care if I have to team up with other people. I didn't specify if I had to team up with other people.
I am always willing to help.
But once I do, yeah.
We got pretty close last night when we coordinated all those traps and everything. Like, I don't normally use a lot of stuff like that, but I'm starting to become a little bit more item savvy. Because I used to be one of the guys that would be like, I'm not going to use, like, I don't bring in extra potions. I don't bring in flash bombs and traps, and like I'm the guy that just likes to be me versus monster, mono e mono, it's time to go. And then it's like how I've always played, but like I'm kind of getting out of that thing, especially with Generations Ultimate. It's been like I'm drinking armor drinks and demon drugs now because it just helps, and I never used it. I don't understand.
This isn't an ASMR channel, Morg.
Welcome to ASMR. Morg Daddy. Very excited to have you.
Anyways, I would say, besides the demo, I'm very interested to see how the Rampage goes. Because we got some more details on the Rampage.
Yes.
It looks really awesome.
A lot of people don't like the UI. I almost said AI. The UI, how it clutters up the screen. And I kind of get that. But, like, it looks like such a fun mode. Whereas, like, let's say the story mechanic is Frenzy, right? It doesn't change a lot about the game. Rampage changes a lot about the game. Like, Tower Defense Monster Hunter, I'd drop $15 on that phone game. I'd do it. I'd do it.
Battle Royale StarCraft. When is that going to be a thing? I want to play as a Marine fighting for the Terran army against a whole bunch of Zergs, and having like people playing as individual units and being able to choose their unit class based upon how they perform with like the lower classes. Ooh, that'd be big.
Maury, where the fuck did that come from? When did we get into
brother
Battle
brought the
Royale
idea
or
to me.
StarCraft?
Battle Royale.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay, Cloud, hear me out. You got to all for this, right? Wouldn't it be really cool if you were able to go around like as a baseline Marine, and then if you like got into an intense kill streak, you all of a sudden were like able to like progress to like a vulture, or then like a siege tank, or like a wraith. But anyways, yeah. Besides the point, I think that would be pretty awesome. But yeah, I was gonna say tower defense and Monster Hunter, pretty awesome. Stop with the Jeopardy music. I'm kidding. It's fine.
Oh, that's gonna be terrible to edit. That one right there.
I was also gonna say, what if the Rampage, because it's giving me very, very nostalgic vibes, what if it leads into a secret hidden boss of Lao Shan Lung? What if that would be a secret thing that we get in the game? I think that would be cool. Or at least like a smaller Lao Shan Lung. I think that would be pretty neat. But
Maybe.
obviously that's possibly not viable.
No, I don't know.
Just because of how the sizing works.
They would have to change up Lao Shan quite a lot in order for it to be fair. Because, I mean, Lao Shan, it literally is just one step at a time, just walking towards you, just running through. But, I mean, like, if they made
Imagine Elder Rampage. Imagine that.
No, take it back. I don't want it. Thank you. No. No.
Instead of Aknosom in the air, you've got Kushala in the air just sniping you with tornado blasts.
You done it. You caused the door slam.
Goodbye!
Where's the mattress?
He's learned his lesson. Yeah,
that wasn't as hard as the last time that caused that.
No, I gotta ease up on that stunt. I do it too often.
We were amazed at the reservation that caused this mattress to stay up this time.
Yeah, I would very much like for this mattress that is acting like a sound barrier to stay where it is, rather than fall on all my equipment.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
So, yeah, Rampage looks really fun. I'm in 100% on this mechanic from what I've seen. I haven't watched the full Rampage fight that Gaijin put up. The mattress
I looked into it.
Streaming these. No, it was not. It was just a funny thing that happened. But yeah, the Rampage looks really cool. I'm glad that they have roles that makes it like a tower defense, where we got the range units, we got the hunter attacking, we got the gate attacking, and it does make you say, okay, what is highest priority? Highest priority is blue, next is green, then is red. And it's like, okay, which is weird. I feel like the color coding is a bit weird because, like, wouldn't green be last and wouldn't red be first? But
well, I mean, red is delegated to attacking like the actual hunters, whereas the blue is delegated to attacking the structures.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm talking about priority. I think priority is always going to be structure, which I think highest priority would have been red, like red alert. You know, like there's so much things about red being more noticeable and more important because of that, and maybe yellow and then blue or green.
If you want to look at it from a sort of scientific perspective,
that is scientific.
Much like Magnamolo's Hellfire, the more blue and white you go with a flame, the hotter it is. So
go.
blue
There's the danger, man.
is
There's
possibly the highest danger.
We're in terror
Big brain
alert.
mode.
Blue
You gotta,
flame.
you gotta look into these avenues.
But color recognition for danger is red is the highest.
I know.
Yeah.
And yellow.
I was just
red alert. You know, red is associated with the color of like things that are like super duper hot, or like blood, or like red sirens going off. You know, like you know, we're in.
Let me think I'm smart, Fort. Let me think I'm smart.
I think
he's right.
I think you're smart.
He is right.
You're fine. I think you're smart. Don't worry.
No, Ace is correct. You know, blue flames are much hotter than red ones.
They
know,
are.
like if the sun were to burn blue, we probably would be dead because we're way too freaking close. And I don't think that we'd have enough stuff to be able to block out those ultraviolet rays. Spooky.
Okay, we're not going to get into cosmic what ifs.
What if Cthulhu was real? But no, yeah.
So that being said, Rampage looks great. I can't wait to actually do it. I can't wait to see if we just have like certain monsters are apex, whereas certain ones are quote unquote major threats. Like maybe Azuchi never has an apex, but there's a major threat Azuchi. I feel like that would be kind of bad. Like I feel like I would rather have everything have an apex form, because that one might just be a harder version of a quest where it's like we might get the major threats at different points. Like
we do
my
know
thought
that
was
there is a there's an apex Mizutsune, and it has fire bubbles. If that makes you happy, and the fire bubbles are
I haven't super looked into it, but I think possibly the major threat is what explains why some of the Izuchi and I think the Ragi look so big in the Rampage, is because those are sort of higher up on the food chain.
I did hear about that, but what I'm saying is I don't want I'd like a reality where every monster could be an apex or could be a major threat.
Oh, okay.
Whereas
I can agree with that.
Hold on, Morg. I don't want Great Ragi or Great Azuchi to never be an apex and only be a major threat. You know what I mean? Like I want a monster to be able to be anything for variety's sake. Like and major threat are just supersized is what Cloud is saying, because I didn't watch it, but like I like them in the streams. They said it could be a major threat or an apex, and I'm like, okay, what does that mean though? Does that mean there's quests that don't have an apex where it's just the end of the quest is a major threat, which just makes it an easier type of rampage, or is it like a horde mode where do you want to go to tier 2 before you quit?
Well, the thing is that from what we've seen, the rampages, they will have either maybe 2 or 3 waves from what we've seen, because from what we know, the first wave is just regular monsters. The second wave will have the major threats, and then if it goes into like the last one, which would be the third one, that would probably be the apex. So
right.
Yeah, Cloud, you're right. Yeah, the final one definitely is the apex. They did say that. You are correct. I like that.
I would just like to see apex to be possible across all monsters.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It could be. It could be. I don't think I would leave anything out by that. I think we're probably going to see the more popular and stronger ones to be the apexes more frequently. I don't know why Arzuros would get it and not any other of the lower monsters, but
they know what they're doing. Red Helm is scary. We were there.
Yeah.
EX Red Helm, secret boss of Generations Ultimate.
Oh my god! I couldn't
why he's
imagine
my
what a
color.
deviant Velocidrome would be like. Oh.
Have you ever heard of the Frontier HR 100 Velocidrome? Have you ever heard what this shit can do?
No, and I don't
He
want to
has
find
breath
out.
weapons. Okay? And the breath weapons include any element, stink, paralysis poison, and it's random every time. It's not random on the monster, it is random each time he does it. So he could, in the fight, consistently do like 5 different things. Here's the worst one. Okay, you ready for the worst one?
Oh, tell me, please do.
Farcaster breath. He farcasts you.
No!
Yes.
How dare you!
That's hilarious.
Yes. So we
Son
used
of
to
a
do
bitch!
we used to do some sort of monster of a week before where we didn't rate them. We just talked about them, and Velocidrome was one of the early ones we did. And I think it was Haru or Gog. I think it was Haru digged up the stuff on Velocidrome, and it was like, are you kidding me? Velocidrome is just that cool in Frontier? Holy cow.
Evil.
It's
Evil.
what do they call those? It's like they're not like they're hyper monster. I like hyper difficult monsters. Zenith. Yeah, it was the Zenith.
Zenith.
It was the Zenith Velocidrome that did this.
Yeah.
It's like what? Like I might be wrong on some of the breaths, but I know that Farcaster breath was the most out there. I'm not positive on the elements, but
that is just unforgivable. How dare they come up with such an evil ploy? The worst thing they can do is send you back to camp and then have you run all the way back to try and fight it, and then it just teleports you back to camp. You're like, the worst weapon against you is time.
Imagine if Magnamolo's Hellfire had a 1 in 100 chance to activate a Farcaster mechanic. But then once you got back to camp,
I would discontinue playing this game entirely. I would drop it, and then I would leave the community. I would abandon my Twitter account. Yeah, I don't think it would be that big of a deal.
Welcome to more exaggeration.
I do tend to exaggerate quite a lot. A lot of my shit is hyperbole, and that's why it's fucking hilarious.
It's true. It's true. You're not wrong. So yeah, Rampage. Is there anything else we're forgetting before we go?
There was some more stuff with well, I just sort of further researched into stories too, but
yeah.
We don't have to get into that because there's not that much to talk about.
Well, I was gonna say that you can use the NPCs that you befriend, kind of like how like Fire Emblem friendship levels and stuff like that. You can do the same thing by doing chit chat with the NPCs in the village, and then you can use them as part of your tower defense.
The relationship stuff is pure speculation, to my knowledge.
Well, they did show that you can use the twins.
They show
as like a tower unit.
The chit chat is how you get them, but the chit chat may literally be, "Hey, can you help me out next time?" Like it may not be a relationship mechanic. That is pure speculation, Morg, especially by Eric's. I think that might be where you're getting that from.
Okay.
There's
pure
speculation.
I can't really take that for gospel. Yeah. I made the assumption there, yeah. But, I mean, it could be a mechanic that they would use for it, and that would be pretty interesting. And you know what? I would like to see more NPCs providing backup. Even Gaijin Hunter, I think, said that, with, what was it? The kid who is responsible for the Palicos and Palamutes, I think he has a heavy bow gun? And then, what was it? The
companion. The companion dude. Yeah. There's I mean, like, there's a lot of NPCs that could be brought into the fight. The
characters are basically a siege weapon. Yeah. Cloud's got it on point. I can see other characters actually having other weapons as well, and then for you to be able to have access to them in the later game. For the sieges, anyways. That would be really, really cool. I could see that being a thing. I kind of would like to see what maybe like. The chief would use if he were involved in it. Now that would be pretty awesome. Hopefully he uses a switch axe, not like a charge blade, unlike a certain admiral that we know of.
There's also that giant nuke mortar shot that caused Rurikon to sort of become a meme, because I watched his stream clip of his stream of that, and when that giant mortar
His
goes
reaction.
off, he just
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, getting the characters as siege weapons. We talked about all the monsters. We got the stealth Baroth reveal.
We should probably talk about stories too.
I don't think we have enough time to talk about stories too today.
Perhaps
we'll wait till we get more information, because there just isn't that much out right now. At
Fugen
this
was
point,
selectable in the Japanese presentation? Really? Cloud, you are a gem.
Who's
Thank
Fugen?
you for being here.
Fugen is the chief.
Oh, okay.
He is a selectable option.
You are
in
what
the
I call
siege.
a true hero.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I wasn't paying attention.
Why
to
they didn't use
people's
him?
names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
I gotcha. Yeah, no, we're gonna save stories for another day. I assume that we're all gonna be playing stories.
Oh yeah.
I got it confused.
Although
What?
Although in my notes, I do have, in regards to stories too, with a recent trailer, another prophecy, blah blah blah, because they have a slight mention of a prophecy
Yeah, no,
with
yeah,
Ray's wing,
Yeah.
Rathalos.
yeah, they do. I guess
I'm calling-
it is kind of cool that you get to do co-op now. A lot of people are excited about that,
Mhm.
and apparently the theme for it is really good. It's getting a lot of
Mhm.
hype on Twitter for the music, which is cool.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter is known for its music, which is
Just
what?
the singing in Kimura, I love it.
Oh no,
Music's
yeah.
amazing.
I was
Sorry,
talking specifically
It's so
Stories
good.
2 theme, but yeah, the Kimura singing.
Stories 2
really
is pretty good too.
But yeah, I think we'll be covering stories stuff at a different time. I think we should really, because we're 2 weeks out from Rise. We're less than 2 weeks out. This is 13 days away. Dawn of 13 days. So I think we're going to be focusing on Rise content. Except for next week when we're a week out and we don't have any major reveals. We're going to talk about a little break, talk about D&D stories, and then Rise is here. Like we have 2 more episodes, or 1 more episode after this before Rise is here. So
Stories 1 for Switch would be so awesome, Cloud. You are correct.
it would. I'd replay
I
it
would
on
love to
Switch.
play it again on Switch. I would definitely
Yeah.
do that.
I'd do it. I would 100% do it.
It
I
was
like
that good.
stories.
It
I
was
don't like a
good.
3DS, and that's why I quit.
Now what they need to do is they need to add all the Elder Dragons that were left out that were a Japanese exclusive. Bring in all the stuff
yeah.
that was from all the games and
mean-
bring it all together, make a better complete series. Because I would love to be able to
I
run on a
would
Kuchela or a Teostra or even a Rajang. I never know how to ride on a Rajang. Can you believe that, Cloud?
Still only use the Black Diablos I used the whole game. I would still do that.
I used the Black Diablos as well, and it was really awesome because I added the honey move or ability from Arzuros, so when it would dig underground, it would have a... It's so good!
Yeah. Oh, man. That was a good game.
I also have to say, you can also play it on mobile, and I'm pretty sure I played it more on mobile than I did on 3DS.
The only
So I'd
issue
say
is that it's free.
give mobile a try.
The problem is that it's free. You can't market the game now because you get it for free.
I do not play things
It's
on mobile.
not free.
No, it's not. It's a paid.
It's like $20
Yeah.
on mobile.
What? Really?
Yeah, no, I don't play.
Huh.
I don't play games on this. No, it's 7 years old. No.
Ozaru action, yes. Oh, Cloud, you're into Dragon Ball Z too? Nice. Bro fist.
You just punched me in
You've
the
earned
face,
it.
Mark.
Boom, boom, boom.
Goes and does it
Oh,
again. All right,
I'd like
I see
to-
how it is.
How dare you like Plesioth and Kieran? Boom, boom, boom. Give me your lunch money. Boom, boom, boom. Nerd. Boom, boom. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I don't want
I
to.
was the one who actually would instigate nerd circles. I was the guy who would play as a nerd and would jump into a mess of football players.
I started.
I would
a
actually
D&D group.
tackle into them and be like, nerds. Oh, nerd. Bound between them, and they'd be like, come on, man, we don't want to do that. When does that ever happen? They didn't want me to be at the center of the nerd circle because they knew I loved it. Bastards!
I did start a D&D club at my college that did live on past me. So there we go.
Don't worry, Fortune, I'm not stealing your lunch money.
You couldn't.
I don't have access to your account, anyways.
I dare you.
All right, so yes, massive DB fan, perfect. Doom, yes. Oh yeah, and you
Rip
do
and
have the
tear,
protection
Morg.
of Doom
Rip and
guy
tear.
right there. You're right. You have the protection of Doom guy. You've got a bodyguard. I have no chance. God damn
Oh
it.
man. No. Okay. So.
All I got is an empty glass. Come at me, bro.
So we're not covering stories too. Yeah. So yeah. I think that's all we have for tonight. So we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. You can catch
especially you, Cloud. You're the MVP here.
Yeah, Cloud MVP. For audio listeners, we are streaming live now on Twitch, Twitch TVT.
Oh, I think Gog just beat Magnamolo. He's posting Gen.
No.
Yeah, I'm not going to be watching anything Discord while we're doing recording. I've got too much to keep up and then out of the way, and I don't want to. Yeah, but anyways,
we'll chat with him later.
The notification popped up.
So, anyways, you can watch live now as we record on Twitch, twitch.tv/HuntersHubPod. And then also catch any sort of updates on Twitter, which is the same Hunters Hub Pod on Twitter. And then we have other shows that are going as well. I don't think the other shows are going to be streamed. I've talked to the other people that do the other shows. We're just going to keep audio only on those, but they will be going up on YouTube because we now have the Hunters Hub Pod on YouTube as well. I don't know the link for that. Just look up Hunters Hub. And you'll see the symbol, the Hunters Hub sign. There's actually 2 Hunters Hub channels on YouTube. Both of them are mine. One of them's deactivated because of the YouTube, the email associated with it was different, and we changed over at that time. So you'll see the most recent episodes there. I don't. Why? Why?
It's so bright.
There's my love, bro.
Okay.
You got my love, Cloud. There you go.
Anyways. So catch all of our other stuff, and then of course lots of clips going up at Hunters Hub Pod on Twitter and that kind of stuff. And of course Jay and Ace are always tagging me, and I have when I go to bed and I wake up, I have 60 notifications every morning. And I'm like, ooh, did I get it? Nope, it's all just people liking their posts.
Dude, props to Jay, man. He's made some hilarious clips off of just the switch captures that he's gotten of us.
He is really, really good at those. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean
although Ace has come up with some pretty excellent memes too. They're pretty good. They're a lot better than
Morg. So the stream shows what I have, and you are below me, and Ace is that way to me. So
that way?
Yeah.
So he's up there.
Yes.
He's over here on my side.
I know.
So wait, he should be over here.
Audience,
I'm pointing at you the whole time.
Because I'm the one streaming it, the audience is going to see what I see. So
follow both of them. On Twitter. They're pretty good. Especially this guy on Twitch, because this is Fortune for you, but this is Ace for me, so this feels weird.
No. I have no person. Twitch TV /Fortune is gone. It is now Hunters Hub Pod. I switched the name.
Well, Hunter's Hot Pod, but I mean, like, it's still under his name. He's the one who's streaming it, so.
Yes. And then also, Morg, where can we find you? At MorganHay3?
Well, yep, you guys can always find me at MorganA3 on Twitter. I'm posting all kinds of funny stuff, just being contrary like I always am, for all the funny trolly reasons, posting, fun cat videos and food and, sometimes political stuff. And I found a Twitter account called Retro Guns, I think it is. Some of those designs are really, really cool. I mean, I'm not crazy for guns, but I can appreciate those old school designs. And yeah, you can find me just posting all kinds of funny stuff that I'm doing, like, just basically gaming and stuff like that. I'm always free to talk with people, open for discussion about things. Even if we don't agree on everything, it's okay. I will respect your opinion because everybody's opinion is valid as long as they're looking to engage in actual conversation.
And to actually listen to what you're saying.
Yeah. As long as we're able to meet half, we're civilized, right? We're adults here, except for some people that, I have a healthy competitive relationship with, especially a certain 13-year-old that I'm trying to beat Magnamolo against.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I will change your profile picture. It's going to be baby Thanos with a cigar in his mouth. You better be ready.
Okay. Ace.
You can find me on Twitter at Ace Badger Gaming. I'm usually always posting something Monster Hunter related, tweeting out anything and everything. I often post clips too. I lost. My brain went dead. I don't know.
Cool
Ace
guy.
Badger Gaming.
Check out his shit. It's good.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for us tonight, folks. So have a good night, and we will catch you next week. And then hope you join the Discord.
Please, welcome to the family. We will embrace you as equals.
All right.
So hard.
Have a good night.